Come on up and sit on Santa's lap, little girl.
Santa Claus, this is Kishka. She's from Fishlakia.
Fishlakia?
Yes, I'm afraid she doesn't speak any English. I told her you wouldn't be able to talk to her, but she said that if you were really Santa Claus...
Kishka. Ingen, schmingen, dugen, worschka.
Santa Claus. Erben, schmarden, wischgruben.
Boogen, boogen, blugen, schlugen. Schlingen, boon, schlingen, boon. Erschka, erschka, du. Lehmen, boon, und lehmen, du. Da ist
Merry Christmas, everyone, and welcome back to Kenan Kel with Adam and Aaron. My name is Adam.
And I am Santa Claus. I'm Aaron.
Yes, we're celebrating Christmas in July right now with Merry Christmas, Kenan, the 11th episode of Kenan and Kel, the 90s Nickelodeon sitcom, of which we're reviewing every single episode.
Every single one, including the holiday ones that may not match the holiday that we're celebrating. But that's okay.
We're recording in order, which meant that it's the summer right now, and I don't know about you, but this day is anything but Christmas.
It's very hot, very sticky. It is not quite the Christmas vibes, but Christmas in July was just a couple days ago, as per the time we're recording this episode, and I can kind of feel the giving spirit in the air. I don't know about you.
Oh yeah, especially after watching this episode.
Oh yeah,
I thought it was real. I remember this one from high school. It's just real sentimental.
Sentimental is the right word. It puts you in a very generous state of mind, a very loving, kind, warm, fuzzy. It's that kind of episode. It's a little goofy, but you can't criticize this one too much. It's just so great.
Yes, I think. Why don't we have your Dan Carlin style intro first, and we'll get into it.
There's a tradition that's over 2,000 years old, one that human beings have celebrated since we could gather and talk and sing. This is a celebratory tradition, one that gives people hope in the darkness and dredges of the brutally unforgiving winter months. It offers promise that though the days are short and the harvest has dried up, light will be coming soon. Warmth and love and prosperity are on the doorstep. All we have to do is be patient. There's something about this ancient festival of light, what has today merged with the celebration of Christ's birth at Christmas, that makes people more generous. It's almost as if giving gifts to others will give us a better chance to survive the cold winter. Like doing good for others will improve our karma. But gift giving isn't done for spiritual advancement. In fact, it might be one of the most selfless things we do for each other these days. It's a tradition that endures, offering hope to a people who live in darkness. Hope that there is light coming soon. Well, it's the most wonderful time of the year in Chicago, and Christmas cheer is certainly in the air. Snow is falling. Family and friends are celebrating, and children are asking jolly old St. Nicholas for gifts. The legend of Santa Claus has surely been exaggerated over the years. Modern-day capitalism has played a role in this, painting Santa Claus almost indistinguishable from the company that makes the toys as the ultimate goodness in a child's life. Santa wore green before Coca-Cola and their divinely inspired marketers came around. The chance for companies to have a black quarter at the end of the fiscal year spurred the birth of this transactional Santa. All you have to do is ask, and you will receive from your corporate masters. But there's a deeper legend here. This legend of the real Santa Claus gives children and parents something to hope in. This Santa is full of joy, jolly cheer, promise for better days, and yes, milk and cookies. He listens to what the children need and provides for them. He is the epitome of the gift giver. Santa is selfless, and he makes the world better because of his benevolent love. It's not every year a 15-year-old is asked to play the role of Santa Claus at the local mall. But when tasked with such an opportunity, Kenan Rockmore is ready for the challenge. With his right-hand elf by his side, Kenan learns a valuable lesson about what the spirit of giving is all about.
How, how, how. It's my Dan Carlin Santa. Could you imagine Dan Carlin like,
No, I can't.
as Santa?
Ho, ho, ho.
If you thought last year was good, just you wait.
Okay, thank you for that intro. And now let's get into the episode with some very, very coolio.
Coolio. That was pretty rough.
I love how immediately they set the tone that it's Christmas. They do some other holiday episodes, and I don't think they go as far out as it. They got in front of the curtains. They have like wreaths and everything, and decorations. I want to say they've had like a little bit of Christmas jingle to the music too.
Yeah, there's the Christmas spirit is in the air, and Kenan and Kel make it known very early that this is the Christmas show.
Yeah. Did you notice anything different about Kenan and Kel?
They were significantly older. Significantly older.
I have no idea what happened. Like when they like changed recording, maybe they took a break for the summer, but they.
It's like season 2, Kenan and Kel. I don't actually know if that's what they look like in season 2. I haven't watched in a while, but
It is. They Kenan's a little bit bigger. His rosy cheeks are gone. Kel looks taller. Just the contrast for where we are now and like 10 episodes ago is astonishing.
yeah, they grew up very quickly. It's kind of what happens on these these young sitcoms, but the nature of the beast or the nature of the beauty, depending on how you want to handle that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're dressed festively. Kel's wearing his flannel and Kenan's wearing his blue sweater.
At first, I thought they had like the most normal outfits like ever, but then I saw Kel's like giant like elbow patches on his flannel.
Oh, I didn't see it. Yeah. Also, a flannel with a backwards hat on. That's a good look. It will never go out of style.
So they do a couple things to get into the Christmas spirit, right?
That's right. Well, the one thing is that Kel says that they're on a television show, which I don't know. Did they do that before?
I think so. Yeah, they acknowledge it.
Yeah, they've mentioned that. Okay.
It's weird because they'll start off saying that, hey, it's like, oh, we're looking through the TV guide. But then they'll end the episode with the consequences of the episode.
Yeah, it's very like it's a weird universe, Kenan and Kel, because like they're outside of the episode, but they're still inside of the episode, like when they're on stage.
It's like a fourth wall break, but they like stand in front of it, then they hop back into the third
Very,
wall.
very, yeah. Anyways, a few things happen.
It starts snowing.
Yep.
On the set.
Yep, it starts snowing.
Kenan suggests that like, what's next? The one horse open sleigh.
Yep, and then we have a stage crew or a stagehand wheeling out a sleigh, although not wheeling, I guess sliding.
And then Kenan hops aboard it and he's off into the episode, and Kel's shouting back at him from the stage.
Yes, he's yelling, "Marry for who? Don't take my sleigh without leaving a deposit. I'm cold and frightened." Oh, here it goes.
Yeah. His transitions are getting better and better.
Yeah, he's growing into the character. It was very noticeable.
Yeah, they've gotten wacky and like wackier and funnier, and yeah, we're the show's really coming into its own.
Yeah, I feel like this was definitely season 2, Kenan and Kel, even like within this episode, but it was also like they were more comfortable in their roles almost, like they because season 2, as the seasons progress, Kel starts to become much more like Kel, not just like an accompaniment to Kenan.
Yeah, although not this episode.
Not
per
this
se.
episode. Not this episode.
No, it definitely takes a back seat in the story.
Yeah.
But let's get into the story.
So the Rockmores are setting up their Christmas tree.
Yes, and Kel is joining them and helping with hanging cans of orange soda.
At least it's not cans of ham. He is very excited about these, so he runs over, and after getting scolded by the Rockmores, he runs over and shows Kenan. But Kenan is kind of preoccupied.
Oh yeah, he has his full attention on a magazine, a sports magazine, and specifically a mountain bike.
The Roll Blazer. Is it Roll?
So he says roll in the first one. Later in the episode, I think he says road. I think road blazer makes more sense.
The Road Blazer Deluxe Elite Mountain Bike.
Just every adjective possible.
All the adjectives. I could see why he messed a word up.
It's a really nice mountain bike. Did you see all the features it has?
Oh yeah. It has spin wheels, rock shocks, X-ray grip shift, Narguard, Titan frame or titanium frame. Christmas. It's gonna be his Christmas present to himself.
Yeah.
I like
yes.
Narguard especially.
At first, I didn't realize until you said it what X-ray grip shifts are. But they're probably like translucent. Whatever the grip shifts.
I really enjoyed. I noticed. I don't know about enjoyed. This was a very listy episode again. A lot of lists.
Oh yes, I kept track of all of them.
Oh good.
I also want to point out something real quick about the Rockmore tree that they're setting up.
Yeah.
What do you think of their tree decorations?
It's pretty much just like a strand of popcorn and some like green and red balls.
Yeah, I thought the popcorn was very 90s.
Very 90s. If you didn't do that growing up, did you even have a Christmas tree?
Do you remember the popcorn that we had on our tree?
Yeah, it was like 10 years old.
Just rotten strands.
Just rotten popcorn. I actually made a joke about that earlier. I made popcorn earlier today, and I was joking like, "Hey, I should make this into a string. Put a needle through it and make it a string of popcorn."
Yeah, that'd be a fun way to eat it. You just like
Yes.
hang it from the ceiling and like one by one. Kenan's been saving up money all year.
Yeah.
For this.
His allowance, the money his grandparents gave him for his birthday, Rigby's money, all the Rigby's money he made in the entire year, all $200 or so dollars.
Well, it's this making me think of at least a lot of, but yeah, that's he's ready to buy himself his own gift.
While continuing to daydream about it, he walks over to the counter and makes himself a glass of chocolate milk.
I just noticed this episode. There's a lot of just Kenan drinking.
Yeah. There is.
Maybe it's a holiday theme. But
Maybe it's perhaps. What colors is he trying to decide between for the bike?
Oh man, I forget the first one, but I know the second one's a Babalu blue.
Yeah, and machine green, which is a great name. It's a great color.
At least machine green's an actual like 2 words.
Yeah, Babalu. That's that Nickelodeon making up word thing to be funny.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like Babalu orange is their color of orange or whatever.
Yes.
But yeah, it's time to hang the star on the tree, and
Of course, Kel wants to steal the show.
yeah, it's Roger's job to do it, and he always does it, which makes a lot of sense if you ask me.
He's very, very tall, and he's the man of the house.
Yeah. So as Kel goes to hang up the star, he does what everyone expects.
He knocks the tree over.
Onto Roger.
Onto Roger, which Roger doesn't catch the tree when the tree falls on him. He gets knocked over by the tree, which isn't that large, and it's not a real tree.
Yes, and it's enough to just topple him.
Yeah, there's not that many ornaments, but yeah, it topples him. And he pops up off the ground with, somehow, the star on his bald head.
Yes, somehow is the key word. It did not land anywhere near his head.
No. A little gimmicky to start, but nonetheless, we are into the episode.
Did you notice Kyra and Cheryl in this scene? Because they, as soon as the tree falls over, they're just covering their mouths, just like trying not to laugh.
I didn't notice. That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Everybody's just enjoying themselves here on the set of Kenan and Kel.
Yep, having a good time. Speaking of which, over at Rigby's, things are festive there too.
Very festive. There is tinsel. There are lights.
And even the patrons are singing.
One of our most frequent visitors to Rigby's is, of course, Ethel.
Yes.
Ethel, whose name we learn is Ethel Quagmire.
Right. I don't know. I want to say that I hope this is still Ethel. I think it might be a different old lady.
Are you joking? This is the same exact. This is the
I
same
don't know.
exact actress.
Ethel was like, all right, we need someone old that needs to be kissed. This is Ethel was never sing-song before.
No, but she had it in her heart. She was waiting for Christmas time. This is the same actress it has to be. This is Ethel Quagmire.
Well,
Don't you try to tell me otherwise.
all right, Mrs. Quagmire, you could be right. I haven't done my homework.
She's got the same coat and everything.
The coat's a good
homework?
tell.
What
You're right.
homework? She got the same long coat, same scarf, same hairdo, same gloves.
She
It's
did
Ethel.
want the. She has the same peanut lady voice. All right.
Excuse
Yes, no.
me, young man. She proclaims to Kenan, who's behind the counter. Kenan wearing his robe of many colors.
Yes.
She says, "I do love Christmas and Christmas carols." To which Kenan responds, "Oh, I'm allergic."
Yeah. So she begins singing the 12 Days of Christmas, and as Kenan discovers there was more than just one day of Christmas, he shouts, "Why?"
Yes. Very emphatically. Yeah, so Kenan wants to find a way to get Mrs. Quagmire out of his store so he can stop hearing Christmas carols. Kenan it seems like he's a Scrooge in this moment, but
Oh yeah, he's a real Scrooge right now, a real Grinch. She forgets what numbers that she's on, so he says, "Oh, you're on 12," because that's when the song ends.
Yep.
And as she tries to remember what it is, he makes up his own version of 12 Days of Christmas.
All right, why don't you say the first one and I'll say the next one.
Okay. 12 loaves of lettuce,
Then we skip to 10 funky chickens,
9 lumps of liver,
7 pimples popping,
6 ladies' papers,
4 grandpuppies,
2 Caesar salads.
and a partridge in a prune tree.
So
The Kenan Rockmore 12 Days of Christmas rendition.
I listened through that, and there's some of them I had several versions.
Yeah.
Just because I had 4 rap crockers or whatever that means.
That was a difficult one.
He also, I think he said parfish,
Parfish. Oh.
which is nothing.
Yeah.
It's nonsense.
A parfish. Okay. Well, anyways, so Ethel Quagmire, as I think her name is gone, and
Okay.
Chris comes in from the back, wheeling in on a gurney, or whatever those things are. Not a gurney. That's a. What is the thing called? It's like you.
It's not a forklift either.
It has wheels and a little platform, and then it has like a big a railing that you hold. And anyways, he wheels in Santa Claus.
A mechanical, life-size Santa Claus.
Yes, mechanical.
And, yeah, no. He needs help plugging in, and Kenan immediately goes on break.
Kenan, as soon as there's something to do, he splits.
I thought Chris was way too nice to Kenan this episode.
Yes, Chris was very, very kind to Kenan. Maybe it was the Christmas spirit.
Yeah, that could be it. But Kenan goes on break to the back room, and he hears singing in the distance.
This is a great moment in Kenan and Kel. He opens the back door to Rigby's, and he sees Mrs. Quagmire and Kel singing Christmas carols over a bonfire in like one of those metal barrels.
One of those fire barrels. Just, it's a really just good moment.
It's so I laughed out loud. That was great. And then Kenan says, "Kel, what are you doing?" He says, "Singing with the elderly."
Yeah, so just every aspect of Christmas goodwill is going on.
Yeah.
Except, yeah, as you can see, Chris attempts to plug in the Santa, shouts for Kenan's help, and Kenan ignores him.
Yeah, and Chris, anyways, he plugs in the Santa, and somehow he gets caught in the mechanical Santa's mechanical rhythms, and he is being almost choked to death.
Yep, he gets attacked by the animatronic Santa. Did you notice the new feature that Rigby's has?
I did not.
You can only see it from this one angle of Chris plugging it in.
Is it the new cooler?
It's the new arcade machine.
Oh, the arcade machine. Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's called Phlegm Fighters 2.
Oh, that's such a Nickelodeon name.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, no, you've never seen that angle of Rigby's before. I wonder if it was always there, or if it was like it's part of this older Kenan and Kel of like almost season 2 decorations. They have it out.
Yeah. I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, it's the first I've ever seen it. But yeah, no, Kenan and Kel decide to leave Rigby's and go to the mall to look at the bike.
Exactly. And then we cut back to the floor of Rigby's, where Chris is now being wrestled by the mechanical Santa. 2 young kids come in, and Chris yells for help. And instead of helping, they start cheering Santa on, and then also proceed to beat up Chris.
I don't think they beat him up. I think they just cheer on Santa, right?
Oh no! Don't they throw some kicks? I think
Maybe.
they let me pull it up right here. I think they definitely. Oh, no, you're right. They won't do that. They won't have child violence.
Yeah, they're cheering for him like with their whole bodies.
Yeah,
But
yeah, they don't care. I'm sorry.
I love the line, "Hey, Santa's killing a guy."
Yeah, cool. They say cool. We
Yeah.
got a little transition to the next scene with a little bam and a pow, like good old Batman days. And Kenan and Kel are at the bike store, which probably is the same set as the jewelry store, just changed around, but I don't want to make any assumptions.
Yeah, I think it looks a lot like the toy store that we're going to see later.
Oh, yeah.
It's the
Very,
same
very
walls.
likely.
And they meet a very so they're appreciating the bike.
They are admiring it, holding it up as the beautiful bike that it is.
Kenan hops on it and experiences an intense tingly sensation.
Yeah, oh yeah, he says, it's hard to describe. I feel tingly, warm, squishy inside. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. And they're approached by an incredibly elfish bike salesman.
Elfish, flamboyant, perhaps.
Yeah.
He's mysterious.
I'll tell you right now.
Oh, I have a theory.
I'm happy they encountered this guy for the Christmas special, and not like a regular everyday episode, because this guy like exudes like Christmas villain.
He does. He is very Kris Kringle, kind of, or not Kris Kringle. He's the good guy.
Jack Frost.
That's Jack. He's very Jack Frost in the Santa Claus 3.
Yeah.
A good reference right there. If you people haven't seen that Santa Claus 3. Yeah. So he has some funny phrases where Kenan is, Kenan wants to put like a down payment on the bike to save it, which is a strange concept. But yeah, he says, "I'll be back in a moochie," and then he says, when Kenan's sitting on the bike, he comes back and he says, "Excuse the news." He's like, don't, no sitting or touching until you buy it.
Yeah. He also, the way he delivers the next line, where he gets him a hold slip, and then he has a very wistful Christmas special way of delivering this line. He says, "And we'll hold it for you until Christmas Eve."
Yeah. He also said at another point in this, I forget where, but like Kenan's like, "Sorry, I'm just really excited." He goes, "I do not judge." He's like,
Yep, that one.
Yeah.
As well as when he waves goodbye, he says, "Hasta la see ya."
Hasta la see ya. Yeah, very good, but interesting character.
Yeah, I wish all the side characters are like this eccentric.
Yeah.
That'd be I think in this episode they are.
I think they are.
Yeah, another great bit I want to have here is that Kenan and Kel, after hearing him say some of these weird words, they look at each other and raise their arm and like say like "Moochie."
Yeah, which is that's a gag in the later seasons.
Yeah, that's a running gag that starts here.
Is this the first one?
Yep, and there's 2 in like right in the same conversation.
Oh, okay. I wonder if next episode they're gonna be young or old. Do we know?
I think they're still this old. You can tell. Watch Kenan's dreadlocks. That'll tell you.
That's always the tell. Yeah, always the tell. Anyways, so, they've been referring to this bike, this glorious, majestic bike, as the bike of bikes, which I think is very poetic. And anyways, So we transition from admiring the bike of bike to a very familiar looking toy store.
Toy store. Yeah, I like this. How Kel's like, he's like, hey, we're at the mall. Let's go to the toy store.
Yeah.
And they're 15. They're still having fun. They wanted a car 10 episodes ago when they would look much younger. But now they're like, hey, let's go to the toy store.
Yeah. It's good. It's a good moment. When they're at the toy store, Kel sees something that he can't believe. It's an ad. It's a
as seen on TV.
As seen on TV. Yes. T.V. Like T period T. It is a tuba phone.
Yeah. And those listening at home might be confused as to what a tuba phone is. It's not just a tuba. It's also a phone.
It's a phone. It has a phone inside of the horn.
Yeah, so probably bad tuba and probably bad phone.
You know, as the cell phone progressed, it became much more slender and easy to carry around. But this is not about being slender, and it's not about being easy to carry around. It's about being a tuba and a phone.
Yes. And what, would you want a tuba phone as a gift? If someone gave that to you, would you?
No, because in 2 years, what are you going to do with it? You still gonna
Right.
you still gonna have it and use it? anyways. I don't want to
mean,
get down on Kel. This is
I would get it for like the oddity of having a whole tuba that's also a phone.
I mean, how many did they make? Did they make like only 100? Because then I would try to get one.
I don't think they made one. I think they just put a phone prop in a tuba prop. But
I don't mean in real life. I mean, if I was living in Kenan and Kel's universe, would I want a tuba phone? I'd be like, well,
Yeah.
if it was like a limited edition tuba phone. Anyways, too much tuba talk. Let's we pan over on the toy store, and we notice a familiar figure, a good old Saint Nicholas.
Kris Kringle himself, Santa Claus, is seeing a bunch of children. And he is approached by a boy named Sam.
Ah, Sam. Sam is very, very upset about something. Maybe it was
life.
maybe it's life in general. A very sad child wearing a bow tie and suspenders, and he asks Santa. He wants to prove if Santa's real, so he asks Santa for an airplane, like a real airplane.
An Air Force fighter jet.
And Santa says something like, "Well, I'll see what I can do."
He says, "That's such a big present for such a little boy."
Yeah.
And as he laughs, Sam does not appreciate the joke and clocks Santa and knocks him out.
This young boy, probably 6 years old, knocks out a grown Santa Claus sitting on his chair.
Just totally floors him.
Totally just knocks him down. And then hysteria breaks out.
Yeah, the parents are upset because their kids have been waiting so long, and the store manager, who is also another, not quite as sprightly, but he's very eccentric.
He definitely is like he wanted a better acting job than what he got here.
As elves come to take Santa away, did you catch all the names that he refers to Santa as?
No.
He calls him first Santa Claus, but then he said, as he's trying to wake him up, he's like, Saint Nicky boy, don't take my elf. Where's my jolly fat man?
Oh yeah,
like
and then so then he starts getting yelled at by the parents and the kids, and the parents seem to be encouraging their kids to yell at him, and he says, "No need to mob up on me." It's really good line. It was funny.
Yeah, he also, his last one was, "You can't incarcerate Papa Noel."
Oh,
I mean, I don't think I've ever heard Papa Noel outside of
this. Yeah.
No.
Maybe that was this actor's creative genius. It wasn't even.
Yeah, that was his improv line.
Yeah.
So he frantically starts looking through the store for someone to replace Santa.
And he clearly, in front of everybody who's just been angry that Santa has been taken away, he's asking people if they can be Santa. Little suspect, but anyways, he comes to Kenan.
You might say that Santa's a whole disguise.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Kel's the suspect part.
Okay. Right.
But he comes to Kenan and asks him to be Santa to help out. And Kenan is disinterested until he learns that he will be paid $100.
Which is money he can use towards his bike, which I forget the name of.
Yeah, how could you forget the Roll Blazer Deluxe Elites 9,800 and Extreme
9800, 588, 2300 Empire.
Empire two-wheel machine.
I don't know, Adam. I don't know.
No, that piques Kenan's interest, and after commercial, he comes back as Santa Claus.
I forget what the store clerk says to him, but he says he gives him some advice, and then Kenan goes, "I understand," and I just wanted to point that out. It was very funny.
Yeah, he has very little instruction as to what to do exactly. But he does that. Yeah, you're Santa. Yeah, I'll just go up and be Santa.
Yeah. So yeah.
Santa's are really just it's common knowledge in this world. We don't have to waste our time with any of that.
Right.
So we see a couple kids in a row here, starting with Raymond, who I should say, Kenan. He's wearing a full Santa Claus outfit, and Kel is his elf buddy.
Yes, Kel wearing an elf outfit
with the green tights and everything. Mm-hmm. So the first kid. Little guy named Raymond. What does he want for Christmas?
He also would like a tuba phone.
Yeah, which Kel celebrates.
Kel gives him a high five and everything.
I love how Kenan says, Kel's like, yeah, you're really good at this. Kenan says, it's way better than working at Rigby's. Cut back to Rigby's. Which, I love this cutaway. It's amazing.
Santa is destroying Chris. And and there's a whole...
He has him on the counter.
Yeah.
Like, he's no longer on the floor, he's up on the counter.
Like, Santa has moved, the mechanical Santa has moved across the whole store. And then all of the Rigby's patrons are cheering on Santa. A dozen.
Yeah.
They're cheering him on.
Including Mrs. Quagmire.
Mrs. Quagmire, indeed. She just hangs out around Rigby's all day. Maybe she lives nearby. I have never noticed in Rigby's that maybe this is a new feature too. There are cans stacked on top. There's a shelf above like the doors, and there's cans stacked, like big cans.
Huh. I don't remember that.
Yeah, that like little towers.
Yeah, again, they fixed up the set for this new season.
Yeah.
New half season or whatever it is.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, that's a great cutaway.
Great cutaway.
Back to Kenan and Kel. So a little foreign girl has arrived.
Yeah, so we don't know what nationality she is. Maybe Swedish, maybe Danish.
Whoa, we know where she's from. Fish-Latvia, Aaron.
Oh. My deepest apologies to the Fish-Latkians.
Yeah.
Anyways, her name is Kishka.
And this is I don't know if you know this, but this is a parody of a scene from Miracle on 34th Street.
Is it?
Ever see that movie?
I have, but I don't remember this. Yeah, this moment.
There's a mall Santa who is kind of the movie's about, is he the real Santa or not? And there's a foreign girl who doesn't speak English, and but this Santa knows the language that she speaks and talks to her. So this is a parody of that. In the sense that she's from a made-up land, and Kenan, who somehow speaks her language, and they sing a crazy, foreign Christmas carol together.
Yeah, it's quite magical. It makes you feel like you just watched the Polar Express.
Yeah, the most magical part is Kel's face. Do you see the cutaway to his face?
No, was he? What was it like?
You have to see it because, yeah, as they start singing Jingle Bells, it cuts back to Kel, who's just open mouth, just staring.
Oh yeah, half eyes, his head's tilted down, he's staring at the camera, he's drooling.
It's just the funniest face he's made all season.
Yeah, we'll meme that and share it with the world at Kenan Kel Podcast on social platforms.
Look for that on Twitter.
Yeah, right.
Because that's very meme worthy.
Very meme-worthy.
But yes, no, he waves goodbye to Kishka. And then we have our final group of kids.
This might be the sweetest young lad in all of the land.
Absolutely. And his name is Daniel, and he's got a little sister named Katie, who's even sweeter and like shy.
Yeah.
I've never seen like a shy character like her on like any of these TV shows before.
You're right. Yeah, usually the characters have to steal the show with their eccentric nature. But yeah, so Daniel goes up, sits on Santa Claus's lap, and he asks Santa for a favor for his little sister.
He wants Santa to get her a new bike, since her old one was stolen, and her mom can't afford to get him a new one.
And Santa Claus asks Daniel what he wants, and he says he doesn't want anything. He just wants his sister to have a bike.
Which Kenan is in disbelief. He cannot comprehend that he doesn't want anything for himself.
And it's a real genuine moment. It's like so heartfelt and so real, and it sends shivers down your spine for sure.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I watched this, and this happens every time I watch this episode. I watched this episode twice for this one, and I teared up during the scene both times. Because it's really...
I think I did too. It's really, really well done. Really sweet.
Yeah. It's also very similar to a personal story that I want to get into later on the episode.
Okay.
Just the scene gets sweeter. After he says, yeah, sure, I'll get you a bike. And Katie gives him like a hug. Like, she doesn't say anything. She's so shy. She just goes up and gives him a big hug. Yep,
and then they both walk away, and Kenan is left there, kind of in shock, as the mother approaches.
Yes, and he explains to the mom, like, yeah, you're gonna get her the bike, right? And the mom explains that she can't. I assume she can't afford it.
She doesn't have, she doesn't have enough money for it.
Yeah, and then she says, I'll just tell him, Santa, like, got lost. Which is, again, just really...
sad.
Incredibly sad. It just keeps piling on.
Yeah.
That scene really leaves it like Kenan and Kel and the audience just like... trying to...
Everybody's trying to hold it together. It's very, very sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we move from what is perhaps the most emotionally charged episode or scene of Kenan and Kel thus far to Rigby's, where Kel is trying to get Kenan to cheer up, or cheers.
Yes, by offering him some orange soda.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you noticed this, but this is Kenan is drinking the orange soda. This is the first and maybe only time we've seen this.
I was about to say that. Yep.
Yeah. And Kel, you don't see him drink a drop. I assume he finishes the rest of that 2-liter, but everyone's in a giving mood. Chris is nice to Kenan, despite him being kind of a jerk. Kel just lets Kenan have the orange soda. It's like everyone's in on it and having a good time.
Everybody's having a good time for sure. But Kenan can't stop thinking about that family.
By the way, funniest line from Kel of the episode. Hey, you should play Santa Claus all year round.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Yeah, he can't stop thinking about them. You're right. Chris arrives with his arm in a cast and with a black eye.
Yep, he just got back from the hospital.
You see in the background he like flinches away from the Santa Claus, who has a danger sign around his neck now.
Yeah, it's a good little bit. Yeah, but Chris comes with Kenan's paycheck because I believe it's Christmas Eve.
Yes, it is. He passed off his paycheck with just all the money that Kenan finally needs to get the bike. So he's off to the store.
Yes, so he heads off to the store, and there is his beloved bike, the Roll Finder Way Surfer Trail Runner 12,000 Deluxe Supreme Mega Bike, which is being carefully guarded by the sales clerk.
Yep. Who asked Kenan, "Did you bring El Money-O?"
Like line after line from this guy.
Yeah, he really made the most of what he had.
He did indeed.
Yeah, and Kenan is about to pay, but then he sees a father who's gotten a bike for his daughter, very young daughter.
Yeah, so the daughter is wheeling the bike away, and the father has his hand. His father kind of looks like Morpheus with the leather coat and everything, but he has his hand on the daughter's back, and Kenan can't help but be incredibly moved by this moment.
Yeah.
This whole episode, he was planning on getting this bike for himself as a Christmas gift to himself.
Yeah.
With his own money.
Not just this whole episode, this whole show is about Kenan and his schemes for getting rich, making money, and everything. So, like, this is like when push comes to shove and he gets into a tight spot, this is where you see the real nature of Kenan.
You could write an essay about this.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's because I was thinking about this episode, like, as a whole at the end of it, and I was just kind of like, all right, is this a good episode of Kenan and Kel? Because it doesn't follow all the usual sitcom stuff.
Right.
Like,
yeah, it doesn't follow the nature of the show at all.
They don't get into trouble. They don't it's not a bad situation. It's purely personal, and is Kenan going to be his same kind of selfish self? Or is he truly like a good person deep down?
Right.
And,
exactly.
He answers it for us by committing the second act of breaking and entering in Kenan and Kel.
The first one, of course, was the jewelry store.
Yes.
Yes, it was the jewelry store. And this one is this random house, which somehow he finds.
It's the house of Daniel and Katie, Aaron. Of course he knows where they live.
Of course he does. Of course he found where they lived because Santa Claus knows where every young child lives.
Yeah, there's no explanation given in the episode, and it's really tough to come up with one, but I will say that the Christmas spirit guided him to their house.
That is fair enough.
Yeah.
He makes quite the commotion when he comes in through the window, and he slams his hand in the window, which is it's a good scene. He's holding his hand up. He's in great pain. But
the scene really made me realize that of how Kenan-centric the episode is.
Yeah.
Because in any other episode, Kel would also be here doing his own nonsense.
Yeah. But this is Kenan's mission as Santa Claus, as the giving spirit.
Yeah, it should be noted that he's dressed in Santa regalia again.
Yes, he is.
So yes, he opens up this door, gets his hand, shouts out, and the mom rushes onto the scene, or sneaks onto the scene, I should say, and grabs a nutcracker to defend her house.
Yes.
From this intruder.
Absolutely. But before that happened, Kenan walks over to their little Christmas tree, which is like a Charlie Brown tree on the table, and and he's like, "Oh, it's such a nice little tree." And then she comes over with a nutcracker.
Yep. And to which Kenan shouts, then she shouts, then they both shout several times, waking up the whole house.
Everybody's woken up here.
Yeah, the mom fortunately recognizes Kenan as the mall Santa, and Daniel shows up with Katie and asks Santa, "What are you doing here?" To which Kenan angrily replies, "What do you think I'm doing here? I mean, ho ho ho." And explains that he has brought gifts for them.
Yeah, so he has gifts for them. So he pulls out his sack and he hands them both a present.
Yeah. Katie gets a stuffed bunny. Daniel gets a portable CD player. And Kenan kind of he does a really funny thing here. He says he obtains like an old voice for a moment as he shuffles in the door, and he says "Oy vey," like an old Jewish man might.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I guess he's just fully embodying Santa, as some version of Santa, as he unlocks their door and wheels in a bike for Katie.
Yes, a beautiful pink bike with a little basket, which it becomes evident that he paid for with his money.
Yep, and he's not done there.
He wheels in a second bike for Daniel, the one who didn't ask for anything else besides a gift for his sister.
Yeah, so it's like, and they all share a fun ho 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 together. Just a really really nice scene.
Really good scene. I agree. Very warm and cozy and giving, generous. It's a very generous moment by Kenan Rockmore. We see his true nature.
Absolutely, and it's not just this isn't just one scheme. Like he said, he's been saving up his money all year for this.
Yeah, and he traded a gift for himself for a gift with these little kids that he just met.
Yep, just because they had less than him, which is very special.
Exactly.
And the specialness continues as we go to the and just you can feel how warm this Christmas Eve scene is at the Rockmores. I don't know what it is, but it feels like our Christmas Eve that we celebrate. Just it's kind of a sense of family. It's really
people are eating dessert. People are opening presents. We got everybody's there. People are laughing.
Chris is there too.
Chris is there. Yeah. That's a nice little touch. It's nice that they invited him over.
They invited Kenan's boss over.
Yeah.
It's so nice. And they express that in the Rockmore house they have a tradition where they open one present the night before.
Yes.
What do you think of that tradition?
I've heard of that. Camille's family actually does that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they open one present the night before.
Yeah, that's real. It felt genuine. That looks like someone has to celebrate it that way.
Yeah, it's a good concept.
So Kenan and Kel pick each other's gifts. What does Kel get Kenan?
Kel gets Kenan heated underpants.
Yes, to which he insists that he tries them on.
And Kenan, of course, rejects that offer, but is very grateful for the gift.
And Kenan gets Kel the tuba phone.
Oh yeah, in a giant box.
So Kel didn't have much to do this episode. That said, his love of the tuba phone is infectious.
I want one. I changed my mind from my earlier statement.
He doesn't do much this episode, but the way he opens the box, and casually looks in and explodes with happiness is amazing.
It's a really really awesome moment.
Yeah. Another clear indicator that time has passed. We see what gift Kyra wants to open up, and the close-up of Kyra made me realize she is so much older now. See, she was a very small child moments ago.
Yeah, now she's a little bit more grown up.
But she the gift that she picks is, of course,
Kel.
Yes, gives Kel, to which Mr. Rockmore says, "You better keep the receipt."
I didn't hear that. That's great. Oh, it also looks like their Christmas tree has more ornaments on it now.
Yeah, they finished
actual ornaments. Yeah, Santas and snowmans and stuff. That's very nice. And still the can of orange soda.
Not only that, yeah, and then the good vibes keep coming because Chris offers to give Kel a ride home.
Yeah.
Which is just, it's so, everyone loves each other.
And Chris does not like Kel very much. Yeah, it's nice. It's really nice.
Cheryl gives Chris mashed potatoes.
To which Chris responds, "I'm sorry, I'm going to take this line." He
says,
says, "Oh, mother will gum these right down." which I thought was just an expression for eating very quickly, but no, she probably has no teeth. She probably
that's
actually
definitely
gums
established.
them down. Yes, very much so.
And do you hear what Kel says as they as they close the door on them?
Yeah. So he says, Mrs. Rockmore says, "Kel told us what you did." No, wait.
But before that, as they're shutting the door on Chris and Kel, Kel says, we like mashed potatoes too.
Oh, that's funny. Nice.
But no, yes. To what you said.
Yeah, so Mrs. Rockmore says to Kenan, "Kel told us what you did," and Kenan says, "I didn't do it."
Yeah, immediately defensive.
Immediately.
Because he knows that he doesn't normally do this kind of thing. He knows that he's normally a greedy jerk.
Yep. And his parents and his family make it very well known, even Kyra, that they're very proud of him for what he did.
Yeah, giving away his buying gifts for that family that in need.
Mm-hmm.
And so did you think it crossed my mind upon rewatch that that Kenan's parents, like in maybe a different version of the story, would like give him the bike instead.
I don't remember that, but
Yeah.
that would make sense.
Yeah, as soon as they were saying we're proud of you, I'm like, it felt like, in maybe a lesser story that they would like be, oh, so we did it for you.
Yeah.
But instead we get a real first Kyra is ready for bed, even though it's only 9:30, because
Yeah, the time frame here is a little bit messed up. It's a little bit iffy because, yeah, it's 9:30, but Kenan also dressed up as Santa and delivered the bikes to sleeping children. Maybe they went to bed early?
yeah. I think before he went to dinner at the back home, Christmas dinner. Maybe it's late, maybe like 7, and at night in the winter. It's hard to tell because it's summer outside now, but it gets dark early.
Right. That's a good point. Fair point.
Yeah. So maybe they're in bed early. Who knows? They clearly weren't all super asleep. The mom was like ready.
Right. Anyways, so the Rockmores decide
Rush to bed.
They decide to rush to bed so they can open presents earlier.
And Kenan has a really reflective scene about what just happened to him. He's like, he picks up the magazine and it's like, oh man, the Scuba Master 360 no scope.
Bike of bikes.
Bike of bikes. Maybe next year. Turns off the lights and goes upstairs.
We pan over to the Christmas tree, and a quite jolly figure prances over, comes onto the set, and then he delivers a mountain bike.
I saw a version of this one that didn't have the original music. Did you hear? Did the Santa make any noise on your version?
I don't think so.
Oh well, you didn't see the original then. He taps the bike and does a little like really very old warm sounding like oh.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's very very magical, and it's very I love it so more than the other ending that I posited, because it's like Kenan didn't expect the mountain bike. He was ready to wait another year, and like this Santa Claus figure, even though it's the most magical thing that's ever happened in the series,
Right.
the most fantastical,
Right.
he delivers back an act of random kindness to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's the point. It means Kenan didn't do things because he thought his parents would just give him what he wanted.
Yeah, no, he wasn't expecting the mountain bike again, and he got it because it was a true act of goodness.
It made it oh so sweet.
Yep, and just to cap everything off, great. They back in front of the Kenan rides his bike out,
And Kel
in front
holds
of the
his scuba
curtains.
phone.
Yeah, with their gifts, and they invite the cast out to kind of wave to everybody. Not just the cast, all the guests too. Everyone comes out to the scene.
Yeah, it was quite the production. Really a lot of supporting actors and actresses and supporting kids. A lot of people, even it looks like the original Santa Claus comes out. The Rockmore family, everybody's coming out, and they are wishing you a Merry Christmas.
Yep, they all sing "We Wish You Merry Christmas."
And it's very, very nice and sweet.
Yeah. Kenan, though, has to, when he hears Happy New Year, he gets an idea that reminds him of something, and he rushes off. And for the first time ever, Kel does not deliver his catchphrase.
Yep, everybody else yells,
Oh, here it goes. Oh, that's my line.
yeah, oh, that's my line, and that's the episode.
Yeah. And when we said everyone comes out. Did you see the animatronic Santa's there, too?
Oh, really? Oh, haha, that's funny.
As the credits roll, he's like doing like the robots.
That's
like
great.
off to the side.
That's great. I love it.
A wreath graphic comes on screen that says "Happy Holidays" from Kenan and Kel.
Yeah,
And
and it's a good ending.
Truly magical.
I have a theory.
Okay.
I have many theories about this show, but I have a theory, and I think it's actually fairly accurate. Now, we can believe that Santa Claus did come to the Rockmore residence and deliver the bike for Kenan. But it's also entirely possible that the incredibly jolly sales clerk at the bike store was Santa Claus himself.
Oh, wow. That's actually a really good theory.
Well, yes, because he was overly jolly, overly happy, and he saw what Kenan did.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's possible that not that the store clerk dressed up as Santa and delivered the bike, but the store clerk was Santa.
Or some kind of like Santa helper.
Yes.
Some kind of like elf in the real world. Because he was very elfish.
Yeah, I think, so he could have been an elf. He could have been, I think it makes sense for him to be an elf. But that's my working theory. I have yet to
I'll not disprove that.
establish a lot of evidence for it, but it sounds pretty good.
There was a cut scene where Kenan learns their address, and the elf kind of like looks in his direction and he goes, and taps his nose and puffs into like glitter.
It's possible. Anyways, that's what I think happened. But overall, a lovely episode. Well done. It's a great production. So many people are involved. It's very happy, very joyful, and it leaves you with that warm feeling inside.
Absolutely. There's not a lot of the usual segments to go through. I don't think we should. It's no one's fault, this episode.
No.
No, there was no problem. No, if anything, Kenan like earned points for what he did.
I would agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Kel, as I said, did not drink any orange soda. Probably the rest of that 2 liter, but not on screen.
Yeah.
Kenan had some, and that's all they took from Rigby's this week. I had 2 anecdotes here, 2 side stories I wanted to talk about.
All right.
First, you probably don't remember this, but back in the year 2003...
I don't remember. I would have been 6.
We had a very Daniel-style scene.
Oh, yeah?
With Santa at our local mall.
I don't remember.
No, I remember because of the gifts and what was going on. Because I would have been about 10 years old. You would have been 6.
6.
By that metric. We went to see Santa at the mall. Us and our sister Rachel. That was the year that you wanted the Transformers Armada Unicron toy.
I remember that.
Yeah, you remember that toy.
That was
right?
the ultimate Transformer.
Absolutely. And that year, I was really, really wanted the GameCube.
If you haven't heard of it, people. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's really great. Highly recommend. We were sat on Santa's lap. He was asking us what we wanted for Christmas, youngest to oldest. And when he came, you said, the Unicron toy, of course. And when he came to me, I said to him, not in this exact way, but I said, hey, I really want my brother to get that Unicron toy.
Aw, Adam.
Yeah, I kept my cards close to my chest for what I wanted, and I said hey, he's loving that show. He really, really wants that thing, so that's what I want you to get for Christmas.
Oh, I didn't know. I don't remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. That's great. I got it. And you got your GameCube, didn't you?
I did. That's a semi-nefarious part of it, because I think Santa said something to the tune of that kind of attitude deserves a real special gift.
Oh, that's so nice. I hope our listeners stuck around long enough to hear that. That's great.
Yeah. I hope you've made it through these 11 episodes to hear that wonderful moment.
That is a great moment. Thank you for doing that. I probably never thanked you. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
That's great. That's such a good older brother.
Sure. There's another. I should probably save that one for a second, but I did want to say, looking up stuff for this episode, I couldn't re-find it. It has gone like the wind, like some kind of Jack Frost. But I saw a review for this episode once, and it was so special and sweet. It was from the mother who played Kishka in the episode. She was talking about her experience on the show, like as a guest star for this episode.
Oh yeah.
And she was talking about she said that she had made lifetime friends with one of the other parents that was waiting in line.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and she was also talking about how she met Kenan and Kel, and they were so sweet.
Oh.
this was an incredibly special, magical Christmas special for her.
Aw, that's so sweet.
Yeah, so that's double the sweetness for your final stories here.
Well, listen, people, if you're listening to this, in the summer and the fall, return to it at Christmas time. Watch the episode, see if you can find it. If not, buy it on Amazon, and it will lift your spirits, I can guarantee it.
Yeah, this is definitely a top episode for me. I would highly recommend buying on Amazon if you don't own it elsewhere.
Yeah. What about ratings? Do we rate this episode?
Yeah, of course. We rate every episode. No surprise here. This episode made me cry, and it does every year when I watch it. It's on IMDb. It's ranked number 5 out of all the episodes of Kenan Kel.
Wow.
All 60 some with an 8.2.
Yeah.
I can't give it anything other than 10 out of 10 bottles of orange soda.
I would agree. I would give it a 10.
All right.
I think it's too much, too sweet, too close to the heart. It has too many supporting actors for it not to be so lovely. And that story you shared, both stories you shared, yeah, it's like this was a good one.
Yeah, that deserves a perfect episode, and it will be definitely. You'll hear it again when we go over some top episodes later in our show.
And it's funny because it doesn't follow the Kenan and Kel mold at all.
Not at all.
But if the other ones did what this episode did, it probably wouldn't be the show it is.
No, and that's almost what makes it so nice, because it breaks away. Sometimes it's like, all right, this is a bad example of the show. I don't know if this fully captures the antics they get into. However, it does really embody the heart. It's character driven. You see Chris at his best. You see Kenan at his best, and Kel, at his good friend, and loving personality type. So they're all, it's the heart of the series.
Yeah, I would agree.
And there's one other big emotional climax in later seasons that I hope we have as good of a time talking about.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. But that's not what we'll be covering next week. Next week is episode 12.
And episode 12 is called Twizzles Fizzles.
Nope.
No! Amazon lied again!
Yeah, there are 2 episodes missing from Amazon, actually.
Oh no.
One's called, this next one's called Baggin' Saggin' Kel.
Oh man. No wonder they don't have it.
Yeah. I do not know why this one's missing, but I will track it down and send you a link so you can watch it as well.
Please do. And then we have 2 episodes left in season 1?
3 left.
3 left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Baggin' Saggin' Kel, Safe and Sorry. Episode 13, then Twizzles Fizzles.
Okay.
Let's see if Kenan and Kel are still their older selves.
We will find out soon next week on Kenan and Kel with Adam and Aaron. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Thanks for joining us, Fantas. You can find us on Twitter, Kenan and Kel Podcast. It's really, we've definitely been growing lately. We got an awesome shout out from Big Orange Couch, the 90s Nickelodeon podcast.
If you're from Big Orange Couch, welcome aboard.
Yeah. The actress that also plays Kenan's mom follows us on Twitter.
We will be reaching out with hopes of an interview someday soon. So,
thanks, Teal.
Thanks, Teal. We appreciate the follow, and we will be in touch.
Yeah, so, we'll see you for next episode. Hey, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, everyone.
Happy Holidays. Oh, here it goes to the tune of Jingle Bells.
Thank you for listening. You can send us an email at KenanKelPodcast@gmail.com or leave us a voicemail at anchor.fm/KenanKelPodcast. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all at Kenan Kel Podcast.